Thracia. When I was new to Fire Emblem, I always saw it and its predecessor FE4 as siblings, together in this limbo of not being quite as outdated as what came before, but wholly unlike what came after. I began my adventure through these two games on a warm summer's day 5 years ago, and was immediately just taken aback by what I saw.
What the hell is this? Is this a chapter of fucking world map? What is this? What is this? Somebody explain to me why this little man is completely invincible. I'm in love with you. I love this man. I want to kiss him. I want to hold him. I want to grab him.
So yeah, a typical beginner FE4 experience. But when I got to FE5, I felt kind of relieved. Don't get me wrong, FE4 was great and all, but I was glad to see some normalcy again. A regular lord, a couple of axe guys, a Jagan, a chapter 1 that doesn't take 5 hours to beat. This was gearing up to be a normal, tame Fire Emblem experience. You know, it kind of reminds me of FE7. We'll just end that story there. Let's just say, ignorance is bliss. Thracia is weird. One way in which it differs greatly from all the others is having a ton of unique and strange personal weapons and staves. 16 in fact, more than any other game in the series. Main Lord? Sure, he's the hero, give him a couple, nothing strange there. Early game Cleric? Oh, why not? We'll just give her a hammer. Random mid-game pre-promoted Mage Knight? Give her 2. Because she is just special like that. Probably the most famous example of a cracked Thracia weapon is the Vouge, exclusive to Ocean. And yes, that is how you say their names. This is a Vouge, not Poogie. This is Ocean, not Orson. And hey, this way I can make this a joke. Cause you know, Vogue and Vouge, right? Obtained in the literal first chapter of the game. This axe has good might, weight, and accuracy, 30 crit, and 60 whole entire uses. Plus, it can fight from both up close and far away at the same time. It's a throwable killer axe basically, and this guy is the only one in the whole world who can use it? Well, except this one random generic enemy that wields it in chapter 16, which is, how did you get that? One other thing this Wonder Axe has going for it is that its owner, Ocean, has 3 FCM. That's follow-up, critical, multiplier. The crit chance of follow-up attacks, meaning the second attack in a double, is multiplied by a number from 0 to 5, unique to each character. In other words, whenever Ocean doubles, his second attack's crit chance is tripled. Between his base skill of 7, the Vouge's 30 critical bonus, and 3 FCM, his second attack will be a guaranteed crit, turning Ocean into a combat god. And if that wasn't enough, he also has Wrath, which means every first attack will crit also, but only on enemy phase. A match made in crit heaven, these two. If Thracia wasn't so dominated by its infinite range staves, he'd make a strong case for being the absolute best character in the whole game, thanks in large part to his trusty Vouge. For fun, I made a ROM hack of FE7 in which I replaced Bartray with Ocean, just to see how he'd perform in a more combat-oriented game. I changed his base stats and made the hand axe into Vouge, and, predictably, this was the result. But then I had to stop because the enemies had it too. And then I died. This is Marita. She joins around the halfway point of the game with low base stats but very high growths. Look at that, a sword fighter with 60% strength growth. If you've ever seen those videos where a small girl is flip-flopping around hitting 50 crits back to back, odds are it's probably Marita using her signature sword, the Marita sword, which is a very clever named weapon. This weapon has the Brave effect. So yeah, strong start there. On top of that, it has 11 might, 20 crit, and like the Vouge, 60 uses. And on top of that, it grants the Nihil skill, which blocks all enemy skills. This is not really relevant at all, but it sounds cool and very epic. Marita herself has Luna as a personal skill and learns Astra a little while after joining the team. So with all this combined, she has the potential to attack 20 times in one combat phase, each with a chance to proc Luna and the last 10 attacks being guaranteed crits, because yeah, she has the maximum allotted FCM of 5. Marita belongs in a group of what I like to call the Blessed units, a small group of Thracia units handpicked by the developers to be given everything in the world. Personal weapons, personal skills, movement stars, FCM, just everything. And then, in the same game, there's Ralph, whose entire personality is that he's just a guy, and he likes to protect villages from bandits. No skills, no cool weapons, no crit bonuses, just good stats and good weapon ranks. Who knows? The sequel? Ralph's Axe. Sounds good to me.